everyone? I'm Mark Murray, the teenager entrepreneur, author of How to Be Successful on Twitter, and today I'm going to share with you one powerful method to increase productivity, and that is by keeping score of your goals. We all keep an eye on the scoreboard. Let's say there's a football game, it's 29-28, 1 minute to go, the losing team is on the other team's 20-yard line, which basically means it's anyone's game. Those are the games that we watch a lot. And those are the games where it's very hard to ignore minutes left, seconds left, the score in general, and other things as well, such as the timeouts. We also look at the score when it's a blowout. Let's say there's a 40-3 game right now. If our team has the 40, we just can't stop watching. It's great. We feel great to see our team winning. But if our team has 3 points, usually most people tend to turn off the TV during the fourth quarter because there's really not much of a chance for that team to win. If it's 40-3, the deficit is simply too big to make up in one quarter. So we all keep an eye on the scoreboard. Even when we say, oh, let's ignore the score, let's just play for fun, we end up paying attention in some way, shape, or form to a score. Whether it's how many touchdowns someone gets, or how many field goals someone gets, or how many home runs a baseball player hits, we pay attention to the score. There are a lot of memorable events that happen in sports, but many of those memorable events happen during close score games. In the 2011 World Series, which is one of the best ever, David Freese was a very big component to the Cardinals' success against the Texas Rangers. There are plenty of other examples as well. There are actually numerous examples, such as one that I can think of right now off the top of my head is when the Seattle Seahawks went to the Super Bowl with the interception against the 49ers. That was a really close game. A touchdown would have given the 49ers the win. In fact, the interception happened at the touchdown zone. So it could have been anyone's game. It could be either 49ers or the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. So that was also a really intense game to watch. And that was primarily because it was a close scoring game. If it was a blowout, that game would not have been as intense to watch. So basically, we keep an eye on the score. We pay really close attention to the score. Imagine watching a football game, not knowing the quarter, not knowing the score of any of the teams, and not knowing how many timeouts are left. How do you watch that kind of a football game? Because you need to have some kind of background information. Now I know background information in this case is something simple as looking at the numbers on the screen, but you need to know the score, the timeout, and the quarter, and the time left in order to be truly engaged in the game. There are some tackles that go on that people like, but you need to know the score so that you know whether it's a blowout or a close game or it's in between those two. So I decided to apply this method to my business. I decided to give myself goals that I would accomplish within a week. Instead of thinking, well, what I used to think before the scorecard, I would think, okay, I'll write a lot of blog posts this week. A lot of blog posts is not a standard. It is not a defined number. So what I decided to do with the scorecard is I will write 20 blog posts this week, 25 blog posts next week, and 18 blog posts the week after that. So that's what I did. And ultimately, I was able to accomplish those goals on the scorecard because I was keeping score now. It's all on you when you're keeping score. You give yourself accountability when you give yourself the scorecard. Imagine being accountable in the football game. Imagine being the quarterback, and you're the one responsible for whether your team wins 60-40 or loses 60-40. So by giving yourself a scorecard, you put all the responsibility on yourself, and since it's good to win and we want to get the win because when we're watching our favorite teams, we always want them to win. We're cheering, we're trying to cheer harder than the opposing team fans. So what we do is, when you create a scorecard, you will have a stronger desire to accomplish your goals. Because the problem is that a lot of people think of urgency. The deadline. That's a big one. I mean, the deadline. You have a certain amount of time to accomplish this. The scorecard does create that, but the scorecard also gives you defined standards. And it's better to say at the end of the week, I got everything done, than it is to say, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that, I only did half of this, I didn't even get near that. So, with the scorecard, you are giving yourself goals to accomplish, and by keeping score, you will want to end up on top. And the best way you end up, actually the only way to end up on top of the scorecard is by doing what the scorecard says, tallying it all up, and then as a result, getting more accomplished. So with your first scorecard, keep it easy, keep it simple. What you want to do with your first scorecard is give yourself basic goals that you'll be able to reach, write down the number, and then tally until you get to that number. And when you get to the number, put a giant check mark, and keep on putting those check marks as you accomplish goals. And as a result, you'll be able to get more of your goals accomplished. Instead of saying, I'll do this, I'll do a lot of these, give yourself numbers. Instead of saying, I will schedule a lot of tweets, I will say, I will schedule this many days of tweets. So give yourself defined standards, and as these standards get easier to accomplish, raise the bar. Raise the bar higher, because by raising the bar higher, you will be able to get more done, and by raising the bar higher, you will be able to become more successful in a shorter amount of time. So keeping score is a very powerful way to increase your productivity because it combines urgency with desire. And that's all for this video. I hope this video has served you, and I hope to see you in my other videos as well. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel. And by subscribing to my channel, I'll be able to notify you every single time I come out with a new video, which would be every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm Mark the Birdie, and what I want you to do is to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.